How do I stop? Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me so. You pull up to the gas station and hop out of your car and open your gas tank. You fumble around looking for the cash you had designated for the gas when an attractive stranger walks up, puts his credit card in the machine and starts pumping your gas. He says to you, "Ma'am, I don't mean to be forward, but I couldn't help but notice this beautiful lady in distress. I took advantage of the moment, paid for your gas, and took it upon myself to assist you." You have been single for some time, and although you are in no way desperate, this attractive stranger has managed to capture your attention. He continues by saying, "I won't ask you for your number. I realize that I've been forward enough, but I desire to have lunch sometime. Take your time to think it over, and if you decide in favor of it, here, there's my number. Call at any time." He immediately retreats to his car after saying goodbye and leaves you in a state of shock and excitement at the same time. A week later, you call and you both agree to lunch. As you sit and enjoy the meal, you ask, "How long have you been single?" He immediately replies by saying, "I have been single nearly 2 years. It is too good to be true, so much so that you must be dreaming." Then he says, "I find you very attractive. I am excited about getting to know you. Can we start by you sharing your credit report with me?" "Huh?" you say. "Yeah, it's necessary that I be fully aware of your ability to manage your finances. Also, I find it helpful if before this thing matures into a relationship that we have sex. Too often in the past, I've invested precious time into a mate that was clumsy in bed." You're sitting there in disbelief when he says, "It's important that you meet my parents by next week and receive their approval. My parents' opinion is far too special, and I cannot risk moving forward without them evaluating you." At the sound of this latest request, you are standing to your feet, gripping your purse and your car keys. "Is something wrong?" he asks. Duh! Don't get me wrong, but knowing that a potential mate is financially stable is important. Hoping that your potential mate is compatible in bed is not wrong, but seeking the answers by engaging in sex before the commitment of marriage is biblically out of line, and it leaves no room for faith and trust in God that He can deliver to you a mate that would suit you in every way. Meeting the potential spouse's parents is also a sound idea, but the real point here is that these things have a time and a place. If these things are demanded out of place, it makes for a very uncomfortable situation. Look at it just a little deeper. A relationship is valued by the ease of atmosphere. We gravitate towards those whose presence is natural, easy, carefree. Any requirements placed upon the conscience prematurely, and we tend to shy away. Let's simply focus on the getting to know. Let's focus on developing a relationship. In no way are the details unimportant. The financial maturity, the approval of the parents, etc. But do not force these things. As a relationship grows, these conversations will naturally take place. You have been doing the same with your relationship with God. He has been saying, "Get to know me. Let's take our time. After close connection, time spent, and genuine intimacy, what I desire will naturally be revealed. Rather than get to know God in this way, we skip the normal means in which we come to know Him and jump into the deeper end of relationship expectations and requirements. Thou shalt not. Thou should do. We skip the natural, easy phase of a relationship and focus our attention on steps 3, 4, and 5, thinking that the enhanced steps of obedience, faith, trust, and righteousness is of more importance. Did any of the detailed matters of the handsome stranger's relationship requirements enable for a healthy, normal relationship? Let's say you were desperate. Let's say you were thirsty for love, protection, financial security, companionship, intimacy, and you agreed to these requirements. Would this be a relationship based on love? Would you trust that if your financial situation changed for the worst, that He wouldn't divorce you? Could you trust that if you had to have your breasts removed due to cancer, that He would still be attracted? No. The relationship was built on the wrong foundations. Honestly, our relationship with God is no different oftentimes. We serve Him out of fear of not being blessed, fear of not having someone we can depend on for financial security, fear of being judged for being an independent thinker. So what do? We get busy with our efforts of satisfying the do's and the don'ts. We become preoccupied with the higher level results of a relationship instead of just focusing on having the basic, normal, caring fellowship that would naturally lead to the higher steps in time. If someone you've known for 3 days says, "Love me," as nice as that idea may appear, the reality is simply that you do not know enough about them to do such a thing. In John 14:15, God says, "If you love me, keep my commandments." Notice there the criteria for commandment keeping. It's love. That simple. He didn't say, "Keep my commandments and through this avenue you will embrace a love for me within." No. He's telling you exactly what I've been saying this entire time. Love brings out the deeper steps of a relationship and not the other way around. So how does one stop their poor behavior? Knowing right from wrong. How does one put down the cigarettes, marijuana, sex outside of marriage, greed, anger, alcohol, gossip, selfishness? Love. A natural, easy, normal relationship founded on the basics. Jesus says in John 14:18, "I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you." He's saying that I'm invested in you. You will fail, stumble, make mistakes while you get to know me, but I will not leave you. Sounds much better and more intimate than "thou shalt not." Telling a potential lover that I want to get to know you and grow into a relationship built on trust is better than saying, "Open up your financial life to me and then I will trust you." One is founded upon love. The other is sustained entirely differently. 1 John 4:16. And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. The only way to know and believe the love that God has to us is to have experienced this love personally. But the promise here is that if we develop a relationship of love with God, he will dwell inside of you. And what will he do there? Fight the battles you cannot keep. Hold you up. He does this through love. You invite him in by asking him. As he enters, he will say, I am here to help you. Then you will say, but how? He will say, through the loving relationship being developed between us. When you talk to me, address me, share with me your problems, spend time with me, you open the door for love between us. And now, since I dwell inside you, through love and not law, I will do through you what you failed to do. Our love will naturally produce righteousness. No amount of will, effort, or trying to obey me without me living within you through love will do. How do you overcome? How do you stop? Through love. There is no other way. Yes, Jesus loves me, for the Bible tells me so.